We are back in Bangor, Maine. Very excited to bring you this awesome episode. Once again, we're going to be working with Master Sistema instructor Martin Wheeler, and we are going to be delving deep into the world of strikes, everybody's favorite. We're going to learn how to control our personal space with body language before a strike even has to be thrown. Most importantly, we're really going to dive deep into the mechanics of striking ballistically and how to remain comfortable when giving and receiving strikes, how to feel them properly and remain relaxed. It is going to be an awesome episode. Don't go anywhere. Buckle up your seatbelts, people, because I am Dan Sykes and this is Emergency Fish Party.
Emergency Fish Party.
Very normal.
This is really simple exercise, nothing to it. On the ground, please, on your back. This is the same as me putting my hands on to hit them. So it's the same feeling for him of having my hands on them for punching. And if I put the tension into my body, then I have a certain amount of weight in my hands, okay? But if I remove the tension from my body and put it into my hands, it's a lot heavier for him. So this is what I want to hit him with. Because otherwise the tension, even the tension of me putting my hand on someone at slow speed means that I'm not really comfortable putting my hands on people. And that means I'm holding all the power in me and not giving any of it to them. Let's go to the 5 again. Tell me when you're at 5.
5.
Okay.
7. 8. 9.
Okay. So I'm constantly changing the tension in my body and keeping it relaxed, so all the weight's in my hand all the time. So the lower I get, the more I want to tense up, but actually I've got to relax.
Oh, so we are downtown Bangor. Jake's wondering how he should run past me when I'm whipping. What does this have to do with strikes? This has to do with explosiveness and commitment and trying to not decide to move, but just having your body feel when you should move. As soon as you hear that pa that way, on pa, that's your starting gun. So when to run, safest moment is just after pa. We're going to do 2 more things with the whip. We're going to try to feel the whip. Send that shock wave just from the wrist. Then when you get the elbow, try to get a little sense of snap out of that whip without moving your arm at all. Like really don't let your forearm move much at all. If you try to force it and it's not in the right position, the wave won't travel. And now add the shoulder in. Bang, and that crack, you can point it, and that crack is wherever your target is. So what we're gonna have Jake do now, I want you to do this, both hands, several times, so you really feel that crack. That sounds good. There you go. I'm gonna come behind you, try to do it again. We're gonna do just what we did at the river. I'm gonna press you here. I think I'm safe here. I'm not, it just got me in the eye. Oh,
Are you okay?
yeah. But it did touch my eyeball. I mean, it really just was like, ding, hello, Dan. Put these down and let's have me take a shot to the stomach. Very cool, much cooler when Mikhail Ryabko does it, of course. If you really want to learn about strikes, the places to go are Vladimir Vasiliev, Mikhail Ryabko, especially the book Strikes, Soul Meets Body by Vladimir Vasiliev. So let's pop it back to the studio and let's go to a brand new thing we're going to cover with Martin Wheeler back at Elk River.
Learning how to relax is one thing, but relaxation without strength is useless. You're just going to get used to the feeling of people being around you and working on you. So the person's going to be in the middle and they're going to do squats, and the other people are going to gently push them so that they've got to kind of just do their job of doing squats and allow their body to free up enough to get the feeling of how to deal with anybody on a spontaneous mat level. Don't push them so hard it pushes them over, just give them a chance to kind of feel it. Relax your hips. Let your body pick up on everybody's feelings. Everybody's push is equal. Start to teach your body how to feel independently of your thoughts. Kind of let the muscle go.
Right.
So that it starts to learn. So once I get pushed, I'm not really just turning off of what they're doing. I just let the muscle release. Do the same thing for push-ups. He's going to do 20 push-ups, and we just kind of push him, move his arm, make him lift up his hand. There you go. If you do 100 push-ups, you're going to get stronger. If you do 100 push-ups and you're tenser, you're probably going to get stronger and tenser. But that's not necessarily going to make you more effective. It should be all his work. I got to be free enough to let go of myself. Like when I throw a punch at somebody, a lot of the punch is involved in me throwing the punch. And I have to free myself from that and let my hand do the work. When I'm throwing punches, I do want to start thinking about throwing them from my elbows instead of my hands. You see, so you teach your body how to think for itself without activating itself. Because otherwise my consciousness will always tell me how to activate something. So I just have the weight coming from the elbow. If I throw it just from my shoulder, you see he starts to read the punch. If I throw it from the hand starts to fire the shoulder. But if I lift from the elbow, it's hard for him to understand the freedom in the punch. Because he's used to seeing it go from the shoulder. You see, he already starts to move right from here. But if I lift from here, he doesn't understand that this is a problem.
So we're going to go over a couple of principles of strikes to augment what Martin was talking about. There's two things we're going to talk about. One is we're going to talk about the concept of a heavy fist and how you do that. And the other thing is we're going to talk about the concept of not punching necessarily with straight lines, but remembering that our body moves in circles. Every movement we do is circles. This circle moves this way, that circle moves that way, this circle moves this way. There's circles moving to create this idea that the fist is moving in a straight line. But we want to remember that we always want these to think in terms of the circles and not the thing it's moving. It's a confusing idea. I want to think of the elbow, the relationship of my elbow and my wrist. I don't want to think about the fact that I'm moving this bone sideways. I'm going to try to move my hand that way, and you hold me now, because I'm trying to move that bone sideways. If instead I think in terms of leading with my fingers and my wrist and my elbow and my shoulder blade, and in a what would you call it, like Fibonacci sequence, you go bop 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 bop, then there's just no way he can hang on. It's not possible. So ultimately, what you're seeing Martin do and the expert martial artists do when they're doing these ballistic strikes is a combination of many, many factors. One is this circle and circle and circle, the independence of the arm, so their body is really free. It's just, and then they're also whipping that and using that power of that circle and circle and circle to get that power. So what I'd like you to do now is punch to my stomach lightly. Good. Oh, that was better. Punch my spine now, lightly. Oh. It definitely shot this thing of tension up my esophagus. So it affected up and down. It was very good. That last one was really good.
So we'll work on something really simple. So just stay where you are, Ty. So what you're going to do is stand about this far away from your opponent. So takes a step, and I'm like, okay, well, what does he want? Okay, well, what does he want? This doesn't look good. And I can feel myself getting more and more anxious just by the proximity of someone getting closer to me. And it doesn't matter if we're in training or not, you'll feel this. And he gets closer and closer, and I'm gonna be like, I don't like him being this close. I'm not used to this. Nobody's done this to me since I was, a child, where they actively just were capable of walking up to me like that. See, he's already switched off from me as well. Yeah. He's already denying that I'm here. Yeah. He's trying to... Right, so look how much tension he had to relieve just from me walking up close to him. But what I want you to do is just use your body as a barometer and say, okay, what is happening to me whilst I'm thinking about hitting this guy? Why am I thinking about hitting this guy? If I'm thinking about hitting this guy, is those thoughts becoming obvious in my motion that he'll notice what I'm doing? Because it's one thing to hit someone, it's another thing to land the punch. Right? I've thrown, I don't know how many punches I've thrown, and I'm not sure how many I've landed.
And so once you've trained and have an idea of your personal space, controlling your space, affecting someone else's personal space, there's other things you can do to play with these ideas as well. So we've come out into the real world. We're in downtown Bangor. We're going to do a few more drills that deal with body language and controlling your personal space. Jonathan is going to approach Truman, and he is going to decide before he moves whether he is going to shake Truman's hand, or he's going to give Truman a hug, or he's going to punch Truman in the face. Make your decision and then move, and don't change your mind.
I actually looked at how his body was rocking.
Yeah.
And the more he was rocking his body, it was kind of almost more loose, more friendly. It seemed more friendly.
It was hard to make the decision on which one to do.
Yeah.
But that was like the hardest part, and then just trying to stay loose the whole time so I didn't give it away.
Yeah. So why don't you guys switch positions and we'll try it again. I'm going to throw one thing into the mix to just have fun. I'll tell you in a second. We're going to have happy punching, angry hugging, and nervous handshaking.
It's so much harder to really, figure out what the other person's thinking, what their body language says, and what it ends up doing.
And that is going to do it, everybody. What an episode it was. Thanks for joining us. We would like to thank our guest instructor, Martin Wheeler, and we would really especially like to thank our neighbors here in Bangor and Brewer for tolerating our training hijinks this afternoon. We had a great time downtown training for you guys. Hope you got something out of it. Until we see you again, we will be here punching, kicking, and whipping our way to profound relaxation. Hope you find time to join us again right here on Emergency Fish Party.
So we're gonna talk about tomorrow.
Next time on Emergency Fish Party.
Oh, hey man! Oh, this is great. This is nice to meet you. I can't believe I'm meeting you. This is so awesome.
Great. That's great. Thank you.
But this guy's my favorite. He's my favorite.
Everybody
Feel with your hands if you're not confident.
feeling every now and then.